Roaming profiles, from my experience and my knowledge, I don't think there's too many enterprise environments out there who utilize roaming profiles. I worked at a school district to be exact, where we ran roaming profiles on XP client. It could have been configured a little bit better, but we had some issues, slow login times, slow log off times and whatnot. But roaming profiles, if used with folder redirection, which I did cover in the last video, wouldn't be so bad. But as far as roaming profiles, you can pretty much get everything you need done with just folder redirection and home drives. But I thought I would show this. I know I had a couple people asking about roaming profiles, and since I have used them before, but I haven't tried it with Windows 7, I thought I would give it a shot here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and we have a test environment. We have a client 1 machine and a client 2 machine. And we also have our Windows 2008 R2 server, which we'll be using to create a new user and set up roaming profiles. What we need to do first is we need a location to store these roaming profiles. Now, what is a roaming profile? It's basically allows an end user to log in on any computer within their district or their environment and pull down their profile that's saved on the server. And you can imagine if folder redirection wasn't set up with this, with the amount of files, documents, stuff on their desktop, people do accumulate a lot of files, and it could take a long time for a computer to log in or log off, especially if they're like at a remote location. You got to be real careful when you're setting this up, and I really honestly don't think roaming profiles is needed in most scenarios. So what we need to do is we need to create a folder. We're just going to put it on our RAID again and call it profiles. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and just go in here real quick. We're going to share it out with the default name. I'm just going to change the permissions real quick. Full controlled authenticated users. Now that that's done, okay, so we have our location. Now let's create a new user. I'm going to copy the last one we had, and we're just going to name this. Let's go test.user. That's the username as well. Test.user. Create a password. Alright, so we have our user. If we go and we view the properties, go to our profile tab, since we copied the SAM-IM, we're going to have an H drive created already, and also I have this put in here just because some of my testing I was doing with SAM-IM. So I wanted to show you this, type it in, but whatever, it's already in there. Just put in your path, stdc-1, which is my server, and then a share name. And you can use, which I did use, username, just an environment variable, but it's already in there. So that's all there is to it, at least for the setup. We're going to go over here to client 1. Let's go ahead and log in with client 1. We're going to use a different user. And you know what? Let me bring the server back up because I wanted to show this folder. You see that there's still nothing in the folder, but as soon as we log in here, it's going to create a folder for us. There's our folder, test.user, and then the version 2 just signifies or specifies that this is a roaming profile for Vista / Windows 7. So if it was an XP machine, it wouldn't save that. Now I don't know how this would work cross versions like that, but we're just worried about Windows 7 machines at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. Let's set up a little scenario. Let's say this user created a text document on their desktop and they placed it right there. And then they also said, you know what, I don't like that background. Let's change our background to, let's see, this thing. And let's say they also started a game of solitaire. It's just a virtual machine. And let's say we just pop that open, dump that down there. We just make some setting changes or whatnot. Now we close it. Ask, do we want to save? Yes, we want to save it. Okay, so, and this person is now done working off this client 1 machine. So they're going to log off. It's going to take a second just to upload the information. Now they come over here to client 2. Let's switch user to fingers are cold, can't type. Right now it's downloading the content from that network share, and we have the background that we configured on the other machine. We have the document placed right where they wanted it. And let's bring up Solitaire and see if we will be continuing. Do you want to continue your saved game? Yes, we do. And see, it's all saved. You know what? I'll show you. This user can access their profile. Nobody else can, not even an administrator, unless they change like the ownership of the directory. But this is all the stuff that's saved in it. We can view hidden folders. So I mean, it does save everything pertaining to this user's profile. And just to show you real quick, me as a domain admin do not have access to this directory unless I were to go in here and change the ownership to myself or some administrators or something. But you don't want to do that. Just leave it as is, and it should work well. So that's roaming profiles. I'm not a big fan of it. We ran into some issues which caused a lot of headaches. But I mean, I think if set up right, it could come in pretty handy.